Welcome. Let's have a look at those feet. So first of all, have your feet just about hip width apart. Rise up on your toes and back down. Now for some of you that might be a problem, so you might want to hold on to something. So we're coming up and down on our toes. Now if you find that too much, you could just do it here. So you've got the weight in one leg and you're just lifting one foot and then the other, like so. So we're just starting to get a bit of stretch, a bit of strength, working our ankles. Good. Now you can do this one either seated or standing, but just circling your ankle. A couple of times in one direction, and then a couple of times around the other way. So again, we're getting mobility there, which is great if you've had an ankle sprain, get a bit of mobility, or just because our joints get stiff over time. And again, you can do this any time of the day, under your desk, sitting, with or without your shoes on. All right, so let's just have a little calf stretch now. Calf stretches, start with your feet parallel, take one foot back. Now make sure that back foot's not turned out or turned in. So have a little look, heel and toe in line. And then just bending your front knee, bring your hips forward rather than leaning forward. So let me show you that sideways. So I've got my feet parallel, I've taken a little step back with one foot, checked that heel and toe are in line, and then I'm just pushing my hips forward. Again, feel free to hold on to something if you need to, but try not to lean the body weight forward. Think the weight comes from the hips coming forward, and then release. So we're just coming forward, and then release. Good. All right, change legs. So we're not holding a static stretch here, we're just moving into that stretch and out again. Just warming up the muscles in the calf. Now we've got two calf muscles. So to work the other calf muscle, bend both knees. Now you can see that angle on that back foot is a lot sharper. Alright, change legs, so we do both. So again, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You might bring that back foot a little closer. Bend both knees. And again, so I'm just stretching that back ankle. Alright, let's do a little bit more mobility work again, either standing or seated. You could use a tennis ball or a football. I've got a Pilates ball here, and I'm just moving it around. So actually I'm getting a little bit of knee and hip movement as well as my foot. And then round the other way. And again, you can do it forward and back. And then a little bit side to side. So let's try that with the other one. So we're going to go round in a circle. Trying to get the movement more from the foot. Round the other way. Forward and back. So again, this is good if you've got plantar fasciitis or tight under the arch of your foot, if you've got a tennis ball or a spiky ball, and just doing some rolling under your foot. But we've done that in another video, so we're not going to cover that today. However, what we are going to cover here is one more stretch. I want you to take your foot back, turn the toes over like that, and just hold it there. So you're getting a stretch on that front of the foot. You can bring your foot a little closer. Quite a stretch on the toes as well. Let's try that on the other foot. So again, I'm just taking the toes back and holding it there. So getting a stretch on the front of the foot and the shin. Alright, so that's quite a bit of mobility work we've done. Let's come down to the floor then. Now, you can use various devices here. So you can use a long band, a TheraBand, or you can use one of these shorter bands that goes normally around your ankles. I'm going to start with this shorter band. So I'm going to place it around both of my ankles, around the feet. So the side edges of the feet. And then I'm just going to turn my foot out to the side and back to the centre. So I've got a bit of resistance there from the band. Now you could do that with a long band and just tie it around your ankles, or tie it around a banister or something. So I'm just pushing my foot out. Now make sure you're doing it from the foot and the ankle, and you're not rolling from the hip or the knee. So keep this upper body still and just move from the ankle. Okay, and then let's try that with the other foot. So you might just look or place a hand there to keep that leg still, so that you are just working from the ankle. You could do both together, so pushing both out. Good. Okay, and again, you could do some where you're pulling your heel back, trying to lift your heel off the floor. Now, if you want to add a little bit of extra resistance here, I'm not getting much resistance from the band like that. So what I can do is pull my leg up, place my foot on the floor, and then I've got a bit more resistance. Or better still here is to use one of these bands. So I'm placing it around the bottom of my foot, and then I'm pushing it. So it's as you're pushing the toes, pointing the toes, that you're getting the stretch and the resistance. So I'm going to do about 10 reps. And as you can see, I've made that harder by sort of folding the band over rather than sort of using a single band. But it depends on your band strength. So that's pulling it up this way. We want to do some resistance now going the other way. So best thing to do there is actually have it around the front of your foot and then tie it around something, so like a banister or something. So as I haven't got anything there, I'm going to have to put my foot there. Oops, so let's do that way around, then you can see. Okay, and then as I'm pulling my foot towards me now, I've got the resistance. As you can see, that's not working that well like that, so it really is good if you can tie it around something or have somebody else holding it there, so then you've got a bit of resistance pulling it towards you. Okay. So let's come back to a little bit of stretching with those feet. You could cross your ankle and use your hand to mobilise your foot round a couple of times in each direction. And then again, you can just point and flex your toes, so you're getting a bit of mobility and stretch work in your foot. You could also use your thumb or the pace of your hand to just give that foot a little massage. But as I said, spiky balls work pretty well for that one too. So let's do that with the other foot. Just a little couple of circles. And then bending and pointing those toes. So another way we can stretch the front of the shin and the ankle is in a kneeling position. So for some people, just kneeling there, sitting back on the ankle, that'll be quite a stretch in itself, particularly if you sprained your ankle. You may find that's a little bit too much, so in which case, just have some of the weight on your hand and ease back. Or again, you could put a little cushion or something to sit your bottom on, so you're still stretching it, but you've not got all the weight bearing down on it. As you get better, you can just take those hands a little further back. So we're getting a nice stretch there on the front of the shins. And release. Okay, let's have one foot flat on the floor. And then bring your knee close to it, or your ankle back towards your knee. So we're trying to get that heel on the floor. So it's almost like a sprint start position. And again, we're getting a really nice stretch in the calf and ankle. So let me show you that this way around. So I've got knee on the floor, trying to bring my foot in line with my knee, and then just ease that heel back. Okay, finally, a little fun one for you. Take your sock. Okay, toes. Spread those toes. Lift them. Spread them back down again. And lift them. Now, can you lift just your big toe and back down? You may need to look at your toes to do this one. So just lifting your big toe. All right, big toe on the floor. Try and lift all the other toes and down without giving yourself cramp. And then a little fanfare, Mexican wave, lifting one toe at a time, placing them back down one toe at a time. So we're really encouraging those toes to spread out. All right. Now again, what you can do is with a towel, grab that towel with your feet. If you can, pick it up without it dropping. I'm going to try my sock instead. So, seeing if you can grab it with your toes and maybe pick it up. And if not, you're just going to curl it and then release. Or drag it back in and then release. Pull it back in and release. So let's try that with the other foot. Seeing if we can pick it up. So curl those toes, see if you can pick it up. Or again, curl and crunch it up, pull it back. So again, just ways of building strength in the muscles and tendons in your feet. So I hope that's helped today. Give them a little bit of a massage, give them a bit of a treat, a soak, and look after your feet.